Are you kidding me? Let's see who's watching. Oh, look at Rondell. Okay. Well, I got one person on, so that's cool. Cat Rollins and Mercedes. Oh Lord, I'd rather be on point. I ain't keeping you guys long today. I want to talk about two topics only, and I'm gonna get you guys out of here. The topics are judging others and be who you want to be. So let me explain how these two really tie into each other. And I apologize because I know my hair is a hot mess. We've been out all day, and I got to get a haircut. But my oldest son, Miles, is 19, and he has spina bifida. And he's paralyzed from the chest down. So we're constantly going to doctor's appointments. And today was kind of interesting because we went to go urology to go look at his kidneys and all that other good stuff. I mean, it's actually kind of fascinating when you look at it and you see all of the kids with the different disabilities. And what's going on, Chris? Congratulations on your pending wedding. It's amazing how many kids have disabilities and the other kids that interact with them and they act like nothing is wrong and the kids treat them like, they're just regular human beings. Well, something interesting happened today. So me and Miles were talking because we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the summer. We've already been to 2 baseball games. We went to an arena football championship. We didn't done it all. And then you throw in my youngest son, we've really been traveling all summer long. So I saw this young man, young white gentleman. And I saw his dad. And I saw his dad's shirt. And it said something about a speedway. And I looked at my son and I said, Miles, we should go to a NASCAR race. And, these 2 gentlemen were standing next to us because I wasn't really sure how to engage them. Because clearly they were from rural America. That's the best way I can put it. And one of the things I always pray to God, I say, God, I grew up in a black neighborhood. I went to all, predominantly black high school. I went to a HBCU. And I always wanted diverse friends. And when I say diverse, I mean, I have friends that are all across the spectrum. Black, white, gay, Republicans, Democrats, atheists, the whole shebang. And I respect them as people. But, in the climate today, and I'm not making this about race, it's really about judging and how quick we judge people before we approach them. I wasn't really going to approach the gentleman or his son because they didn't look to me at that time like they were going to engage 2 black men that were talking about NASCAR who really have no clue what's going on except the cars go round and round and round and we turn on the key. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They had on, the hat like we getting ready to go down in the country and we fixing cars and that's what they do. And guess what? I was partially right. When I talked to the gentleman, I talked to the guy's father, we were the same age. And come to find out, the gentleman said, Nate, you don't really want to go to a NASCAR race. And so I'm looking at my son like, this white man is about to engage me into a conversation. And because he didn't look like me or he didn't look safe, I had already judged him because I'm like, well, I don't really want to engage him because he might not really be into what I'm trying to do. And then you got this foolishness coming up here in DC and everybody is up in arms. Okay. So I judged him. I made prejudged notions. And let me tell you something. When you see someone or something, you make quick judgments real quick. And that's human nature. Is the person safe? Is it not safe? When I vibe with them, there's certain things that we just do as human nature. So The gentleman, he started talking to me. Then he educated me on what Miles might like and what Carson might like. That's my youngest son. He said, you want to go to a dirt track. You don't want to go see NASCAR. They go round and round and round and round and round. He said, nah, dirt track, you pay this amount of money and you can get in for 3 days. I'm like, what? This conversation lasted about 45 minutes. And I could not believe that this gentleman engaged me, and I'm holding a conversation with him. And believe it or not, I don't really drink, but guess what? I am pretty sure I would be in some biker bar or some bar I don't need to be in with this gentleman drinking Budweisers and Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Because he didn't look like me, I assumed that he was not going to engage me, or it was going to be some type of conflict, or he was just going to be like, I ain't into you. And it just made me think, how many judgments as a person, especially myself, that they make against me? How many judgments do, when you go into certain businesses or you do business or you just interacting with people, how many judgments you make that are not really true judgments or true reflections of that individual? I'm not saying you talk to anybody and everybody, but what I am saying is, before we start judging, let's think about the whole scenario. Because had I not really thought about what I was doing and I sat there and continued down my judgment road, because I was on judgment road, I'm sitting here like, bruh, I don't think you're going to be bringing these black men into your house. And come to find out, he wasn't even that type of person. Because he didn't look safe. He had a scruffy 5 o'clock beard. He looked like Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard. That's exactly what he looked like. And he flat out told me, he said, look, Nate, if it's fast, I want to go see it. Boats, cars, drag racing, horses. And it was an eye-opening experience because I was really embarrassed. I was so embarrassed on how I approached the situation that I didn't, I was really ashamed of myself. And so I haven't had the conversation with Miles yet, but, I have to let him know. I said, people want to make a lot of assumptions about you and judge you. And you're going to do the same thing. It's just, that's how life is. But don't let those assumptions and judgments, stop you from interacting with people because they don't look like you. Or they may not have the same creed as you. I'm always entertained during election season. How many people lose friends because they're friends? You've been friends for years and you don't have the same ideology as that person in politics. All of a sudden they become a racist and all that other stuff. I've seen it and it is so disheartening. It is a disheartening situation. So let me segue over to the second part, the BU part. I have a web series coming out on Thursday, and ironically enough, I have a bunch of video cameras right now that are not working for me because of the external mics. And I can't put out any garbage. I have one camera I paid a nice pretty penny for, and the external mic is not working, so I got to figure that out or go buy me a brand new microphone. And that's fine. So I have a mentor that I respect immensely because not only is it my mentor, my coach, but that's my friend. And she took me from laying in the bed, feeling sorry for myself and talking woulda, coulda, shoulda, to producing content, slowly building my business in a healthy manner, approaching business in a different way. And one of the things we talked about was image. and how I look and how I present myself. And what I love about my coach is it's never done in a manner where it makes me feel less of a person, let alone as a man. People can say what they want. Men's egos are fragile like an egg. You can just say the wrong thing to it, and we just, oh my Lord Jesus. But she put it in a way where it made sense. I ended up dyeing my hair, and guess what? Business started to pick up because I looked different. Then it's like I had sideburns, of course, for y'all to remember. I was trying to grow in a full beard. Why was I trying to grow in the beard game? I got straight hair. So that's not going to really work. I look like a confused Indian. So now I'm about to either cut this off and just keep the mustache and look like a black Tom Selleck, or I'm going to cut it down. However, but I need to bring in a very professional look. So it made me think about the mask that I've been putting on, not only in my business, but as a person. Because I'm trying to conform to something that I think that people would want to see, if that makes sense. I remember the wildly successful show, The Real Housewives of Benning Road. And it was acting, but it also put people in, oh, that's me. Or I can relate to that person. You see what I'm saying? They were actors, but a lot of people took their mask off and said, oh, that's me. And, it's kind of funny how they poke fun at each other. So I kind of got away from what really made me Nate. And when I do a lot of workshops and I talk to people about, improving their lives, like 90 days to a new you, new life living, things like that. And we talk about what can we do to get you to where you want to be. And I find that a lot of people have this mask that's on and they use multiple masks. I have a friend that's a PhD candidate, and she talks about how women have to use different personas for different situations, because you can't be pro-black in a corporate situation and make it happen. Some people say, oh, you're not. No, it really can't. Come on now, let's be real. And then when you go dating, you have to be a certain way. When you're married, you have to be another way. With the kids, another way. And so we have all of these personalities. We have all of these masks. So, okay, now, here's where it gets interesting. Then, not only do we have the mask of life, then we have scripts. A script, just like a play. I can tell you right now, a lot of people do not live their, I'm living my best life now. Right. You're living what you think people want you to know. About 2 years ago, I met a sister here on Facebook, and I remember she made a post, and it was real interesting. She said, I lead a hedonistic lifestyle. And so when she said, I lead a hedonistic lifestyle, I immediately went and looked up the word hedonism. Because most people, equate hedonism into something sexual. And so what hedonism was, hold on, I'm going to get you the exact definition. So hedonism is the pursuit of pleasure. It also means sensual self-indulgence. But everybody focuses on that one word, the sensual. But the real meaning is the pursuit of pleasure. The ethical theory that pleasure in the sense of satisfaction of desires. So there's certain things that I desire. When I left my job and I retired, Chuck, are you serious? So when when I did this, I left my job and I left abruptly because I got tired. And I'll openly admit it. I walked away. It wasn't even professional. I walked away after 12 years. I said, I'm going to start my own gig. Here it is a year later. And things didn't go quite the way I thought they were. And I said, I'm going to do it my way. But I ended up doing it the way I thought other people would want me to do it versus do it Nate's way. Do it the way that God gave you to do it, the way it should be presented. Because I'm not, if you've never been to one of my workshops or presentations, it's actually an interesting situation because I talk about serious things and I'm either like, I'll make you laugh about it. Like people always ask me about the death of my parents because my parents died, within 60 days of each other. And in a weird way, I found a good analogy to people why it was a good thing they passed away. They had cancer. And I said death was the best thing for them. There's no more suffering. And for those that really knew me, they knew the dynamics of me and my mother, that me and my mother, we always talked about what would happen at my parents' funeral. And I promise you, she did not let me down because a lot of the stuff that we talked about actually happened at the funerals. It's not that, and I'm just saying, the reason I told that story is because I did my dad's eulogy in his funeral the way I wanted to do, and I put my spin on it. I didn't just stand up there and we boo-hoo-hooing and praise the Lord. They knew who I was. Jesus knew who I am. God knew who I was. But I did it the way I want. I have two companies. I have a financial company, and I have a company that is about self-empowerment. The financial company is the one, that's my baby. That's the one that makes me the money and, let me do a lot of the lives and all that other stuff. So my coach, who I love immensely, because that's my girl, I'm already going back to shirt and ties because that's what I like. Wearing jeans and all of that. I mean, if I go out, I might wear jeans and a blazer. Imagine me going to, for those that don't know what go-go is, I'm going to a go-go in jeans and a blazer. Go figure. And everybody's in the latest Nikes, Adidas, whatever. And here I am bebopping up and being in a blazer and, whatever. Trying to be nerdy cool. But that's what I like. That's what I like. So it's like when I do certain presentations, it's not, one thing they hated about me at my job is the way I did presentations because I put a lot of energy into it. And my presentations are not lecture format. And this isn't about me. What I want you guys to get from this is whatever you're about to do, because there's someone that's either watching me, you're getting ready to go embark on something, or you've been thinking about it, put your spin on it. Whether you're a teacher, put your spin on it. And I'm going to throw him a bone. Chuck Taylor, a.k.a. Chuck the Arsonist, go Facebook him, YouTube him. I forgot he was a barber. And we used to always have these powwows about music. And I remember one of the first things after I was being arrogant with him, I said, how come a lot of people are not successful, especially in DC? And Chuck said, Nate, listen. He said, it's not so much as the business. He said, they're busy trying to sound like everybody else. He said, my sound is totally different. And I went and I got the CD. And it was totally different because he put his spin on it. And what I'm trying to say is we have these masks and these scripts that we put on. But yet and still we want to live our best lives now. My dad, the really ironic part about him, I think he knew his time was limited. And that's when he started to live. Right after my mom died, he wanted to go run to Canton with me and my boys because that was my travel partner. Him and my parents, my travel partners. And he's trying to live and he's trying to do this and he's trying to do that. And I'm like sitting here watching him. I'm like, sir, it doesn't look good right now. I said, I got to get you better before I can put you on the road. Because again, the weird humor of this was, I said, I'd be damned if I'm going to be driving down to Canton, Ohio, and you die in my car. For whatever reason, he thought it was funny. I'm like, that's not funny, Dad. But that's just me. That's why I had problems at work because I was busy trying to conform to the way they did it. Unfortunately, the problem was the people that were receiving the message liked the format that I did it in. I'll give you another scenario, and I'm about to leave out of here. I was with an organization of housing counselors, and the director I had at the time volunteered me for an 8-hour shift in Maryland in a homeowners home buyers program. It was National Home Ownership Month, so they were doing home buyer programs and all of that. So if they had to do with foreclosure prevention, buying a house, or money management and credit, guess what? At the drop of a dime, I can do it, and I could probably do it in a couple of different ways. So in this particular case, they wanted me to do a presentation on credit and money management because they were rotating the people out. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I don't have my material, but I can still, do my thing. But I just need a cup of coffee and a Reese cup. And so they gave me the coffee, they gave me the Reese cup, and I went and the lights flipped on, it's showtime. So after an hour, I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm out of here. They were like, no, sir. You got to do this 7 more times. 7? Okay. By the time I got to the third group, I'm in the zone. It is loud. They're laughing. And the other rooms can't understand what's going on. Unless you had been in the class prior, the presenter in the other rooms, they didn't understand what was going on, what was so funny in our room. So one of the monitors that was in the organization I was with, they came in to see what was going on because the door was shut. And I don't know what the fascination was when I would do presentations. People would stop me in the middle of my presentations. But the person came up and they were like, Nate, you're a little too loud. And we got a complaint from the presenter next door that you told them some information that contradicted what they were saying. And I forgot what it was. And I said, okay, the information I gave the group that left here that went over there, I said, who was correct, me or them? And they were like, well, your information was correct, but it's the way you presented it. I don't know how else to present it, the truth. And I brought it the way I wanted to bring it and how I was supposed to. So what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be your business. It could be anything that you're doing. Be you and be who you are. I'm not saying, if everybody like, well, I'm like Charles Barkley, I'm outspoken. Usually that means you're talking at the wrong time. There's a time and place to be outspoken. There's a time and place to do certain things. What I'm saying is we're going to always have scripts and we're going to always have mask and light because there's certain things that I will not do at a workshop or at a corporate event versus that I'm going to do at a networking event or a church event. But at the end of the day, we don't spend enough time honing in who we really are. Because I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, just looking at the demographics of the population I have, most people have no clue who they really are or who they really want to be. They're either just living life like a zombie, or they're living life at what they think they're supposed to be. You know, there's a wife right now that's saying, you know, I've lost myself in my family and all that other stuff. You have no clue who you are. You're being who they want you to be, and that doesn't make you happy. How can you live your best life now and you living your life under what you think someone else wants you to be? All right, y'all. I need a huge favor. If you liked it, share it on your page. Like me at bignate.org on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, bignate.org. And you can also find me at Big Nate TV on Instagram and Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. This is going to be on the bignate.org side. But I wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted you, you know, I know it's impromptu because I got to get ready to get dressed to go do a financial workshop online real quick. You know, normally I would do it during the day for, you know, the lunchtime, but this is Money Management Monday. If you want to see something, I'm about to go back live again in about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be talking about the major shopping holidays. All right, y'all. Look, I want to thank you guys for watching me. I know I was kind of rambling. We're going to get better. You know, Rondell, I'm going to work on my hair. Chuck, yeah, I got it. I'm going to come and see. You ain't even dropping the link where your barbershop is. Bad business, bro. But, you know, I still love you. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.